Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel, and I'll do a little video on Windows 10 32 versus 64-bit versions because I got a question today, and it's a pretty detailed email actually that I got. And the viewer has a PC that's a couple of years old. He had Windows 10 on it, and it's of course Windows 10 32 bits home version. And he's a little, probably a little lost in what exactly it means and what he has to do to access something very specific. So here's the thing. He has a problem with the fact that his PC has 16 gigabytes of RAM. But yet he goes to the task manager and says, why is it that in the memory I only see 4 gigabytes? So there's a few things like that he's kind of wondering why is it. And in his mind, it's and he actually spent, unfortunately, money to upgrade from Home to Pro to find that it did the same thing, not understanding that it's not a Home or Pro version problem. It's a 32 or 64-bit problem. So when you have Windows 10 on a PC, most PCs, the big majority of PCs today, are all capable of 64 bits operating systems. And you should always choose the 64-bit version of an operating system when you have that PC installed with Windows 10. In Windows 11, it's not a problem because there are no 32-bit versions of Windows 11. It's the first system that is a 64-bit only available. But on Windows 10, you still have the choice, and the choice is because there are machines, older machines, that could run with 32-bit system, and that still could have this on, still have Windows 10, even though their machine is not a 64-bit processor. There's also a reason for some to have 32 bits. There are a few apps, and there are some devices that unfortunately never had 64-bit versions of their drivers or software created. And although Windows 10 64-bit can run x86, as we call them, or 32-bit apps, there are apps that just don't work well in the 64-bit environment of the system. So in that case, there are reasons for 32 bits of Windows 10. And I believe that a lot of that, when Windows 10 was released, it was 2015, a lot of apps and a lot of things still worked in 32 bits in 2015. Now we're 8 years later, 2023, and that has changed quite a lot since then. So these are the limits of the 32 versus 64. So that's why you don't see the 16 gigabyte of RAM. You might have 16 gigabyte. It's just going to show, it's not going to show up because 32-bit RAM addresses cannot go over 4 gigabytes. So that's why you don't see all of the 16. You need to go to a 64-bit Windows. So instead of investing in the Pro version, unfortunately, you should have invested in a 64-bit version of that operating system. And this is what everybody needs to know. In most machines today, make sure your Windows is not a 32-bit, it's a 64. It has tons of other advancements and tons of other reasons to be 64-bit, including more security, in some areas, faster processing, faster performance, and just overall, it's better because it will work with everything, pretty much modern stuff today. There are apps and there are devices today that don't even have 32-bit versions of their software anymore because, we're moving on. That's the way it is. Maybe someday we'll have 128 bits machines and operating systems, and that's going to be even more, with more capacity and more features and more things. It is technology moving on, and 64 bits is the norm. So if you could see the full 8, 16, or whatever gigabyte of memory, you know you have 64 bits already. So most processors today and everything are capable of 64 bits. It's not even a question today. And be sure that if you ever choose or need a Windows 10 PC still today, that it is a 64-bit OS that's installed on that machine. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.